We are recording and here we go. Welcome back everybody. I hope you're doing all right. Hope you're having a great and beautiful day. Like I said in my introduction, out here it's dark, clouded, and impending rain and all that stuff, but for our purposes, for what we like to do, this is the best weather we can imagine because yeah, you don't feel like you're missing out on anything. You're just sitting at home, keeping warm, keeping your eyes on the chart as you do your other occupations, whether it is on the computer, playing games, or just doing some chores at home. You know, you can combine this very easily without really missing out on a lot. So this is beautiful. Now, what has been happening? Now, we're just gonna dive right in. Okay, so what has been happening? We did leave the chat, we did leave off yesterday at about this area here, right here on this level. And as you remember, I kind of made the remark, the comment on some YouTubers just for clickbait, making those bold thumbnails, those clickbait thumbnails about 13,800 impending and watch out, danger. First of all, I would urge you, if you are serious about day trading, remove those challenges, those channels. This is number one, most important thing. If you have any channel in your list, in your playlist, that just entices fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and panic selling, and all that stuff, just get rid of it. Because we don't care about any of these things. If we are day traders, this is not what you should be looking for. The main objective is that you learn to do your own analysis, that if and when you look at the charts, you have a set of tools to your disposal that that will allow you to make up your own mind and make your own decisions accordingly. Not everybody has the same time schedule. Not everybody has the same time they want to put in goals, pain sensitivity, stop loss settings, all these things. Those are very personal. So don't follow these guys that will just spoon feed you emotional crap, because this is what could make or break your trades. And you know, from my experience, I have followed quite some of these guys out of curiosity, and you know, they're more often wrong than they are right. And okay, it's not an issue to be wrong. What is important is that you set your own analysis, that you set your own limits, and that you go level by level. I keep repeating this, go level by level. Try to keep your trades conservative so that you can take some pain, so that you can adjust and move your entry levels accordingly, and this will make you a better trader. This is how you can make a profession out of this. If you're just following what somebody else says, you know, you might as well go to a casino and drop all in at the first table you notice. So you know, this is not what trading is about. If this is what you like to do, then I'm sorry to say, but this is not the channel for you. On the other hand, if you really want to put in the time, if you really want to devote yourself into a skill set that will allow you to be more consistent and stuff, this is where you want to be. And you know, there's a couple of other really good channels out there. You will never hear me say anything bad about all the other ones. Hey, Singizi, hello on DLive, how are you doing? Hope you're doing great. Yeah. So yeah, what was I saying? What was I saying? Where did I leave off? Yeah, mainly there are some good channels, but be picky. Okay, be picky. Look for the ones that give you objective information that will help you progress your skills, level up your skills as a trader for yourself. We are not financial advisors. We are not the ones that are qualified to take your money and tell you what to do with it. This is not the purpose at all. So I can't stipulate this more than enough, that this is a risky business that you undertake on your own risk and your own responsibility, and trying to become more responsible with your risks, learning how to minimize your risks and maximize your profit. This is what it's all about. And there is not enough information in the world. So, yeah, feel free to browse around. And also remember that I do have a Discord channel that you can join just by signing up using my affiliate link on the Wolves of Bybit website. It's my way of cutting away the subscription fee, because I don't want to be this arrogant. And on the other hand, you get some really cool bonuses. There's no strings attached. If you don't like it, you can leave. And if you're in the channel, then I will also do every month a giveaway, a give back, a return of a portion of the affiliate revenue, because I don't want to be selfish and I want to create a community that is more stimulating, to help each other out, to motivate each other, to keep each other on a good vibe about what they're doing, because this is more profitable for everybody. All right, so enough said. Let's just dive right in. Now, yesterday we did leave on this area right here. And what did I say? In my opinion, things were still looking good. We need, oh no, it was this area right here. So in my opinion, things were still looking good. Maybe a little bit of a resistance hit, because we got this tiny smudge of a bearish divergence popping up right here. But I wasn't expecting a really big pullback, because it was only visible on the lower time frames. Lower time frames usually indicate some resistance, some pushback, but it's only when we can spot and agree these reads on the higher time frames that we actually need to be looking out for a larger move. So what happened? We just saw price move up, take a little bit of a break on the other section area just at the beginning of this volume node, which is also very healthy. This is Bitstamp. Look, this is Bitstamp. On Bitstamp, there was quite a big wick to the downside, but looking at the chart of Bybit, on the Bybit chart, there is no such thing to be seen. Also on the BTC USDT chart of Poloniex, same thing, not there to be seen. So maybe I might change to one of these charts, preferably maybe Poloniex, because it also has quite some history. It has a lot to look back at. And maybe I need to change my opinion about Bitstamp, because this is an anomaly. This only happened there. Maybe some heavy selling off, maybe some hunting for stop losses just to be able to enter at a lower price. Who knows? God knows. But yeah, if you compare different charts, then you're able to spot these. So always keep that in mind. Now, yeah, let's just continue, because I already have some lines and charts and thingies set up. But yeah, something to remember, and maybe starting tomorrow, I would consider setting up on another chart. Now, what has been happening? Now that we reached a certain high level, we are actually getting a little bit of thin air above us, right? This area has low volume, so very little friction and resistance. But the scary thing is that right here, we do see RSI being rather topped out. On these levels, not an issue. We have quite, yeah, same high, maybe a little bit less high, maybe a little bit of a lower high, tiny, but we do have quite a higher high on the RSI. Now let's have a look at this one here. This says 84.73 and the other one is 83.71, so still no bearish divergence between this area and this area, but this is where me as a cautious trader, I have been taking quite some profit already, making my position a little bit lower. And my strategy is very easy. If we start pulling back, I will keep my eyes on the levels and the RSI, maybe scale my position back in. If we start breaking out, then I'm just gonna wait it out and see and just go from there. So it's very important to set yourself up with a strategy that will give you enough freedom of space, enough movement space, enough range, so that you don't have to be panic selling or do anything crazy. Now, let's look at the levels on the pullback. If we were to have a pullback, there are a few key levels that could be interesting. Let me just scroll back to a almost similar looking area like this one here, where we do have RSI pulling up together with the price. What happened? Little smudge of a divergence here, so we do have resistance pushing back. We bounced on the lower high here, and price goes back for more. Now, what is important to keep your eyes on is how price is making here just a nice continuation pattern. So a little bit of a higher low, a little bit of a higher low. So continuation of this trend, and we do see continuation in the price action. Now, where we really have been getting in trouble was number one. Here, we did get a first strike of a small bearish divergence, pushing RSI down to recover. But what did we get? We get a series of higher lows, and here almost flat, maybe a lower low. So this also gave you on the short term enough momentum to see price reach up a little bit higher. We got higher, and here at the highest point, we did see a turnaround where price did make an enormous attempt to move up again. And what happened here on the RSI? That was weak as hell. So this was kind of a confirmation that the top was in, and eventually we do start seeing the continuation to the downside. Now, is this exactly what is going to happen? I don't know, but what I know out of experience, or what I realize out of experience, is that Bitcoin always likes to make these second and third attempts that you can easily spot on the RSI, and where you can start seeing that those attempts were just retests confirming that the top is in. Sometimes it's a little bit like this, making a higher low, and then almost something that looks like a head and shoulders pattern. Wouldn't really like to call it like this because I'm not trading patterns and stuff, especially not those ones. They're very complicated to really get correctly, because there's not only the pattern that matters, there's also the volume signature. And usually you have to be really eyeballing this stuff, keeping your eyes really close on the chart as it happens, because you won't have more time than that to react. Okay, so yeah, I like to take those slower indicators with price action to do my reads and analysis. It's just my way of trading. But yeah, everybody has its way, and I know for sure that there's a lot of successful traders out there. So my way is not the only way. Okay, keep that in mind. But let's talk about lower end. Let's have a look and see why I put my boxes the way I've put them. So number one, what could happen is a pushback and a bullish divergence with this area, giving us at least a little bit of a bounce up. So this level would be on the RSI at 65. And I'm just going to do this on the 1 hour chart because this is very short term. There is no point looking at the longer term range for this. And right here we see that RSI is sitting at 160, 19,160. So yeah, let's oopsie. Let's move this up to the bottom of this section, and let's move this up to the 160. So very thin line to walk on. Now we have the second area right here. Oh, wait up, I messed up. I'm sorry. My apologize. It's more like this. I was kind of wondering, like, if things have changed so much over time already. But sometimes it changes really fast. Okay, so and as you can see, I'm only human, and as human, I'm prone to make mistakes from time to time. I'm not ashamed of admitting my mistakes. It's very important if you want to be a good trader. Now here, let's look at this one. This one we could go over to the 3 hour chart and the 4 hour chart. Probably the lower ones, I will go to the higher time frames. So just for this one here, we're at 56.4. 56.4. Oh, there we go. Let's see what the magic number says. And we do have, whoa, okay, this actually did move up. So we do have 19,050. But this is why I'm also going to look at the higher time frames, because all this could read differently on the higher time frames. And especially for this one, I do believe that at least a 3 hour chart would get it a lot better. But yeah, let's just go over it. Let's go down the line and let's see what we read. Now for this one, we got 48.50. 48.50. And that would be 18,800, 18,900, more or less this area here. And we're going to drag this up because closing below the candle is going to give us a continuation to the downside. Now, the lowest end, we're going to do this one. I don't think this one is going to be, well, maybe it would be a good thing. 27, 22. Let's go with 28. Just cut it down the middle. So 18,180. So that would be right about here. So yeah, as you can see, this is why I started to color code the boxes with different colors, because we do see an overlapping of these sections. And, you know, just like trend lines and horizontals, when they are crossing, usually it's an area of interest. And quite often, more often than not, we do see price actually really aim for the intersection. So this is why I found it rather interesting to see how these boxes are overlapping each other. And if and when we look at the volume nodes, it starts to make quite some sense. But yeah, let's move over to the 3-hour chart and let's do those two levels here. So yeah, look at this, and I'm not scripting my videos at all. I'm doing everything live as we go. But yeah, here, this low here is not even that impressive. It's very hard to be calling this a local low. But yeah, let's measure it out just to be sure, to be on the safe side. But this area here is completely non-existent on the RSI reads. So yeah, you see how things change quite often. Let's see. This is 53.75. 53.75. And we got 18,800, let's call it. So yeah, as you can see, we're going to drag this down to this area here. And what do we see now? This little overlapping section actually corresponds with this zone here. And yeah, there is a node sticking out right here. I will probably be dragging this up. I think this makes much more sense. And now let's read this one. 31.8. And what do we get? 17,400. Now this is sitting lower. And this is quite interesting, right? We're going to use a horizontal for this one. Yeah, and maybe just out of, to be thorough, we're going to read this local low, and this is going to be our point of no return. This is where all hope is lost. This will be where we completely change our biases, especially for the coming weeks, maybe months to come. So 23. And what do we read? 16,000 sharp. This is really, really low. 16,040. Let's zoom out a little bit, and yeah, it does make quite some sense. Once we reach down below in this area, it's very obvious that we do have a change of momentum. There is not going to be a way in hell that this is going to recover quickly. More likely, more downtrending and more hesitation over the longer period. Now, the boxes here, bouncing in the green, good stuff, obviously, because it's green. Bouncing in the yellow, probably some hesitation, could still recover, but keep in mind that this could only be a short-term bounce back up and just a continuation of a downward motion. Bouncing in the red one. Red is bad, right? Red is where I would at least have made sure that I closed all my positions. And then this is where you want to wait it out and see. If there is a recovery, it will be bearing the same signature of a bullish divergence with a retest probably. If we break below the purple line, this is where you need to wait out and see what the bounce and the reaction could be for maybe thinking about a short position. And here the red line, completely change of momentum, biases change, and yeah, expect some more downtrending over time. All right, so let's compare to the 4-hour chart now. And you know, seeing this RSI range here, the way this is postured, I'm not even going to bother looking at the other time at the other levels. We're just going to do the lower ones and see if we can find some agreements. I think this is the better way to do it. All right, so this one here, 30.7. is sitting at 17,000. Actually quite a bit lower. Interesting. Interesting. And this one here is 23. 15,600. This is even much lower. I'm gonna look at the 5-hour chart first and see what this one says. Because I'm under the impression that often the 3-hour and the 5-hour charts get it a lot better than the 4-hour chart. I don't know what's wrong with the 4-hour chart. I like to look at it just to do a little bit of an average, a mental average. But yeah, mostly I do have to put my I do have to put more weight. I do see more consistency. That's the word I was looking for in the 5-hour and the 3-hour chart. So yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe those are the time frames to be looking at now. So let's do this. 34.9. What do we get? See, 17,400. So this is actually corresponding with the purple line. Much better. Okay, and here we got 27.5. 16,300. I do believe I'm going to put my point of no return right there, because I do believe, looking at the volume profile, I do believe this would be the last and final chance for a popping up. Or yeah, now maybe I'm just gonna drag it a little bit here under this volume node, just at the wick of this formation, just to set it as the new lower low. Once we made a lower low on this larger structure, then yeah, then we do have a lower low being printed, and this is you know, you know the story, you know how it goes, right? So okay, now let's look at the 12-hour chart. Let's have a look, because this is the closing of the weekend for spot action, and we're just gonna have a little overall see and check the health of the overall structure that we've been building so far. So on the longer term, we do see that we are actually confirmed with a bullish divergence. So on the longer term, I still do see a lot more positivity than I do see negativity. So keep that in mind. It's the short term says one story, the long term says another. And what would happen, what could happen, we could have a little bit of retracing, finding some support in one of these box areas, and then eventually just confirming a higher low on the RSI with a higher low on the price action, and this would be the most beautiful signal that we can that we can hope and expect to see. What we don't want to see, on the other hand, is actually getting some sort of a bearish divergence with this area. And I think we're just going to read this out, just to get a little bit of a zone that we need to make or break. Okay, let's look at the higher time frame first. This would be 68, 68.7, 68.7. That would be 20,300. Let's make a little bit of a box. Let's go back to the classic color coding. There we go. Let's go down to the 5-hour chart. Let's compare the read, because out here we are already closing in a lot more. But yeah, I'm not going to put too much weight on that, I think. Or maybe I will. Let's see what she reads first. So 73.9. So yeah, 19,750. Let's just smack on the T. For the 5-hour chart, just making a higher high would be good enough. Let's do the 3-hour chart. Let's just skip the 4-hour completely. It's disappointed me. 81.2 and 82.6. Let's do 82. Let's cut it down the middle. 82. And that would be 19,800, 19,900. That's the all-time high. That's the yellow line. So yeah, I think we do have some good reads right now. On the longer term, if we want to see continuation, we will have to see a 12-hour chart close above the blue box. When we enter the blue box, I think it's important to make a difference between getting rejected in the lower end of the blue box or actually breaking above the yellow line and then trending a little bit, which would be perfectly healthy as long as we close above this area. We could see either way trending, even a wide trend, taking back some momentum and stuff, but closing above the yellow line, I would be expecting more in the line of continuation to the upside. Then on the downside, we do have the color codings right here, like rejecting, bouncing into the blue box and making its move back up. Super happy, very bullish, but as long as we don't break this area, this could just be a failure, a swing pattern failure, and eventually start making its way down. So then the yellow chart, I don't believe if we get in the yellow box, I don't believe we are going to have such a strong move up, because there's going to be a resistance here, resistance here. So in the yellow box, cautious, be cautious. If you take a long position, make sure you do take your profits. You don't have to close your position completely, because that will keep you a little more nimble to play around with your entry price average. But getting down here in the red box area, this is where I would advise like not having a long position open at the moment. Just wait it out and see what the reaction would be from the retest, because in this red area there is going to be a retest of the low that will confirm whether the bottom is in or not. And of course, those lines here, very important. The red line especially, point of no return. The purple line breaking below the purple line, I do expect at least some ranging, some hesitation, and we're gonna have to go from there. Okay, so yeah, I hope this was helpful. Let's have a quick look at the dollar index. Let's see how the dollar closed. It did close on a bullish divergence right here, especially on the daily. On the daily was looking rather good. Yeah, maybe a little bit of a push back up from here could possibly could be possible. On the 1 hour chart, on the other hand, we do have a bearish divergence continuation on the low ends, continuation, and a higher low with this section. So yeah, short term, maybe the dollar is going to make another swipe to the downside, and then it all depends whether we see on the higher time frames a lower low being printed, just confirming continuation, more continuation, or not. E-mini futures, let's go over E-mini futures. E-mini futures was looking rather good. On the 12-hour chart, we do see a higher low being printed with a lower low on the RSI. So possibly next week, more highs in the foreseeable future of E-mini futures. futures. And yeah, then lies the question again. Are we going to see a continuation of this correlation happening? Because since March, there was a strong correlation with the traditional markets and Bitcoin, and an inverse correlation with the dollar strength index and Bitcoin and traditional markets. Traditional markets make a lot of sense because they are mainly traded against the dollar, but as Bitcoin is more global currency, a cryptocurrency that is traded against more than just the dollar, it could be rather interesting to keep your eyes on that. Are they going to decouple or not? Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. All we can do is keep our eyes on the charts and be vigilant. And this is where I'm going to close my stream. Now, thank you a lot for watching. I know this has been a long one, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Remember, please, if you enjoy my channel, subscribe, hit the bell notification, join me on the live chat so we can have real conversations. If things are unclear, if you don't understand why I do this or that, it's always helpful to be able to ask your questions, ask away, and I will make time to try and elaborate and explain to you as well as possible. This is educational. This is not spoon-feeding targets. Okay, and then again, yeah, remember, if you want to join in on the live Discord, on the open Discord, just move over to Wolves of Bybit, the website. It's not the most sleek looking website in the world, but it's very easy. You scroll down, sign up to Bybit. This is the affiliate link I was talking about. Send me an email with your nickname, email address, and maybe the user ID you used to sign up to Bybit. And then as soon as I can confirm you on the affiliates page, then you get an invite to the Discord channel. You can ask your questions away. All right. Now, thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow. Remember, 12:30 UTC, day in, day out. With some exceptions, of course. I do have a live, but if you hit the bell notification, you will know exactly when we go live ahead of time. All right. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Be there and be square. Bye-bye, guys.